What's up, guys? Peter Valley, FBAmaster.com here. In this video, it's going to be two parts. First part of this video, I'm going to teach you something I just discovered that I think most of you can make a bunch of money with, like literally as soon as you get off this video. And it involves, drum roll, this. And I'll tell you where I got this and what it is and all this in a second. Second part of this video is this stash I have here. We're going to look it up together and see how much money I made, so you can get a sense of how much money you can make if you choose to employ this tactic. Okay, so what happened? What did I do? What the heck is this? So I'm at Barnes & Noble. This is literally today. And I am there just to shop for books for personal use, and they also have vinyl records. Most of you know, if you've been to Barnes & Noble, they carry vinyl records. I usually thumb through them. I buy some vinyl, a lot of vinyl actually, for personal use. So I was just looking through the records, and I see this whole section that says vinyl, what was it, $20. Everything's marked down to $20. If you don't know, vinyl records now tend to be usually north of $25. $30 is like a pretty normal price. So everything's marked down to $20. There's hundreds of records. So that in and of itself is not exciting. I start thumbing through the records, and I get to one that says 50%. It's got a sticker that says 50% off. But even 50% of like a full price record is not that exciting. It's still like $15. Keep thumbing, keep thumbing, keep thumbing. And that's when I see this sticker right here. If you can read that, $5. Now, if you watched a previous video I did about a year ago about sourcing vinyl at Urban Outfitters, I won't get into that story, but that is another way you can make money. I said in that video what I'm going to say in this video, which is that anytime you find a sealed vinyl record for $5 or less, buy it sight unseen. There is I'm going to say 0% chance you can lose money spending $5 on a sealed vinyl record, assuming it has some level of demand, which if it's in Barnes & Noble, of course it will. So I see this $5 record, and I just grab it, and I start thumbing through the records, and then I find another one, and another one, and another one, and I end up walking out with this stack. I actually have not even counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 15 records here for $5 each. So two possible scenarios. Either I have missed these $5 records for a long time, or this is a new phenomenon. Now, most of you I'd say most of you watching this live within driving distance or close proximity to a Barnes & Noble. So there's no reason you can't go to Barnes & Noble right now. I think they all sell vinyl and make some quick money. Okay, so some of the records I got here are Shania Twain, $5. Buck Owens, who I'm not familiar with. A bunch of artists I'm not familiar with at all. Best of Andy Williams. I got 2 copies of that. And a bunch more. But a key detail of this video, which brings us to the second part, is that I did not even look these up. $5 sealed vinyl. If it's at Barnes & Noble, it's going to have some level of demand. So I just bought them without looking them up at all. So we're going to do this together. I'm going to take you inside ScanLister. We're going to find out how much money I made. Let's do it. Okay, so here we are inside ScanLister. So we're going to discover how much money I made together. Remember, if I wasn't clear, I did not look these records up. I know that I'm going to make money spending $5 on a record, so I just grabbed all the $5 records, headed for the register. So based on my receipt, I spent $74.90. And by the way, I think I miscalculated earlier. I think I said 15 records. It was actually 14. So $5 each plus 7% tax, $74.90. So that's my investment. Let's see how much I made. And remember, you could go do this right now. So I got Andy Williams records to start off, and I have 2 of these. So new, $30.94. Cool. And then I have to edit the quantity. Okay, so right out of the gate, first 2 records, profit $39, and again, that's not counting in my costs, so we'll get to that at the very end and do the full net profit. Okay, all right, next up, an artist named Seth Abbott. Don't get mad at me if I've never heard of him. New condition, $24.96, which brings our profit to $13.90 minus the 5. I'm just doing the rough math just to kind of get a sense. So, definitely over doubling our money on this one. Next up is Buck Owens. This is before my time, so also you have to forgive me if I don't know who Buck Owens is. No FBA offers at all, and there are several new condition offers for $45, but the sales rank is 0. I don't like that at all, and I'm wondering, okay, so we have our first lesson in the video here. I'm going to put this up. I don't know if you can see this, but we have an Buck Owens record, but I don't know if I can get this in the shot. The sticker here says Barnes & Noble exclusive. That means it's a special pressing just for Barnes & Noble. Which, now, here's a lesson, and here's where the lesson comes in. Nobody is going to Amazon.com to look for this exclusive Barnes & Noble. As we can see here, the sales rank is 0. So nobody's going to Amazon to look for this silver, what is it? Metallic silver vinyl. Okay, so it's a variant. So remember, most vinyl, you probably know, black vinyl, right? And then you'll have like Urban Outfitters exclusive, Barnes & Noble exclusive, et cetera, et cetera. And they'll have different color vinyl, okay? So only the most diehard collectors, and there's very few of them, are going to be seeking out every color vinyl, okay? So most people, when they're buying the record, they're just like, just give me the black record. So this is again, silver vinyl. Nobody's looking for this on Amazon. So what do you do here? The sales rank is 0. Do we just have to accept that probably no one's ever going to buy this? Do we list it on eBay? Here's what I do, and this is a lesson I imparted in a video I did about Urban Outfitters, sourcing vinyl Urban Outfitters as well, which is this. The premise is that colored vinyl, a variant edition, is always considered an upgrade. In other words, if a buyer purchases a black vinyl or just regular vinyl, they think, they're just assuming they're getting black vinyl, and they get the silver vinyl, they should be thrilled. That's an upgrade, right? That's you're actually providing more value than you advertise, so to speak, on the product page. So I have no problem, and I've done this a bazillion times, with taking variant vinyl and just listing on the plain black vinyl page. Now, haters might say there's some astronomically remote scenario where somebody who has someone who has the silver vinyl already, or I don't know, or just like somebody who has all the other color vinyl variants and doesn't have the black is going to be upset that they got a color vinyl variant. That's basically an impossible scenario. So I have no problem with this. I recommend you do it as well, because again, the sales rank for this particular UPC is 0. There's no demand for it. So what I'm gonna do is list on the regular old black vinyl page, but we have to find that. We have to actually manually search for it. All right, so we're gonna go into Amazon, Buck Owens Live in Scandinavia, vinyl record, silver metallic. Interesting. So this is really interesting because what I have here is a silver metallic, but there's a separate product page just for the silver metallic. The reason I think this is separate, okay, so now I'm confused because it has reviews, but how can the sales rank be 0 if 10 people have reviewed it? That makes no sense. So now we're back into total confusion land. So let me just search for the word vinyl and see if we can bring up other product pages. Okay, this is the one that I have. This is the Barnes & Noble edition. This is the one we just looked at, which is the same color vinyl, which is very odd. And there seemingly is no other product pages. So I don't know how Barnes & Noble can consider this their exclusive when the color of the vinyl is identical. Am I wrong? Metallic silver color vinyl, and that's what this is as well. Although it's cut off, which is weird, but you can see the word silver in part. And they both have no sales rank. But here is the thing, you guys. Here's what I'm going to do. This is another lesson. The sales rank 0, but we know it's sold because it has 10 reviews. So if you've noticed, and if you're newer, you don't even know a world where this doesn't happen, where Amazon will not publish sales rank for certain products, just inexplicably, for no reason. They just won't publish sales rank. We know this is sold because it has reviews. Since this is a different ASIN, I'm going to list on this page, same color vinyl. Although, I guess theoretically, hold on, metallic silver. I'm looking at the label once again, metallic silver. Okay, so this is 100% the same record. So I'm going to list on this product page with the assumption that the sales rank figure is inaccurate. Does this make sense? So let's go back to ScanLister. We're going to run this new ASIN through. Or is this the same ASIN? I'm so confused. I think this is the same one. But we know it has reviews. So look, I'm just going to match the lowest new price. If it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. I only spent $5 on it. Moving on. Okay. I hope you guys are tracking all that. That was me being really meticulous about getting, maximizing my profits and the likelihood this product will sell. Okay, next up, Shania Twain. I have a story about this. Oh, hold on. Let me get approval for this. All right, I got approval for this off camera. So $22.90. Go ahead and match that. Although, is that Amazon's offer? Because I'm going to price under that. World of Media. Okay, cool. Go ahead and match this one. Okay, so the cashier, when she was ringing me up, she stopped me and talked to me for 5 minutes about this particular record, the Shania Twain record. I'm not a Shania Twain fan, don't really know anything. She said she was an extra in a Shania Twain music video when she lived in LA, which is like mildly interesting. It doesn't really warrant a 5-minute conversation. It was cool. It was. I like chatting with people, don't get me wrong, but there's that sometimes you run into people and like they start talking about their glory days. And it was the glory days like 30, 40 years ago or something. So she was just like, oh, I was in Shania Twain. I got to meet her for 30 seconds. And she goes on and on. It's this whole story. I felt a little bit bad. I did, but she also told me a story about meeting Garth Brooks when she was on the set of a Garth Brooks video. Anyway, that conversation went, I would say, 30% longer than I would have personally preferred. All right, so far, let's take stock where we're at. $94 in profit. And again, my investment's $74. Just round up and say $75. So I'm already making profit, and we're only for, I guess, 5, because we get 2 Andy Williams, right? 5 records in. Next up, I have a story about this record as well. The Old Crow Medicine Show. I don't know how much you can see in these, so I'm not really holding these up, but Old Crow Medicine Show, which is a fairly prominent band. The story I have about this band, perhaps I hang out with some unsavory individuals. Perhaps the quality of women in my life could be perceived as questionable, but I'm spending some time with a woman a couple years ago who was fresh off of the Old Crow Medicine Show tour. And the reason she was on tour with this band is that her and her friends, as a joke, decided to like DM on, I was like, Instagram or something, like the singer or something. The whole scheme was like, let's see if we can like actually get this band who we've never met to take us on tour with them. And it was actually literally successful. So her and her friend Beth, I won't say the person I know's name, her and her friend Beth DM'd their way into going on tour with this band. I don't want to know what happened on that tour. I don't want to know the particulars. I'm just repeating the story. Okay, $23.98. So the profit is, I already missed it, but anyway, we're up to $177, about $30 in net profit. Thank you, Old Crow Medicine Show. Next up, some artist name that I can't pronounce. All right, what do we got? $24.49. I really have not been checking to see if the new offer is coming from Amazon, which I should have been. So I could have screwed up the first 3 records here, but this one is definitely from Amazon, because obviously you have to underprice Amazon. So I'm just going to do 23. I'm going to do like an even $1 below. $23.50. Net profit. Not net profit, but payout, $14, net profit about $9. Cool. So what I'm hoping for here is we're going to get into the realm of some of these records being like the 30-plus range, because that's certainly not uncommon for new vinyl. I see that when I source from Urban Outfitters, but haven't seen that here so far. So by the way, this is a band called Bush. It feels kind of heavy. I think it might be 2 records. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Okay, so $20.98. That is Amazon's offer. So let's employ the strategy of always going $1 below. $28.99. Payout is $17. Over $10 profit on this one. Okay, next up we have David Byrne and Fatboy Slim. I know these names. I don't know much more than their names. This also feels like a double LP set. The original sticker price is I don't know if you can see that, $42. So that's kind of encouraging. New price, an underwhelming $18.80. Let's see if that's Amazon's offer. Looks like it's not, 'cause it doesn't have. So kind of interesting. I'm not actually seeing that on the product page, which is strange. I'm not seeing the $18.90. We filter by FBA. There's no FBA. So I don't know. This might be a kind of a false positive here with ScanLister, but it's showing an $18.80 offer. I don't see that anywhere. Let's unfilter everything. I don't even see it merge fulfilled. So that appears to be a non-existent offer. So I'm going to just go off what I see here on the page. And since there's no FBA offers at all, you see free delivery, but no Prime eligible offers, we can pretty much make up a price. But let's just go ahead and match the lowest merge fulfilled price. So it's $25.92. So let's just go ahead and match that one. So payout's going to be $15.24. Yeah, kind of strange. I really don't see ScanLister given false prices like that very often. So, I mean, we can definitely blame Amazon's API. It's not a ScanLister issue, but I'm kind of glad I caught that. All right, next up we have a soundtrack for a film called Licorice Pizza that I can only assume from the art here was produced in the released 1970s. All right, I haven't looked at the sales ranks at all, by the way, you guys. Literally at all. So maybe some of you have been yelling at the screen that some of these have 0 ranks. I completely missed on that. Well, let me double check that here in a second. But for now, $21.59. Is that Amazon's offer? No. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and match this one. Payout, $11. So, yeah, let's check out the rank and see if I missed anything here. So we have that one that we knew had no rank. The Andy Williams, I didn't even pay attention to. Apparently that has no rank. So that could be a concern. The rest of these are, the rank's pretty strong. Okay, so let's take stock where we're at. $164 so far, so which means our net profit to roughly $90 so far, so that's kind of cool. Not including shipping. There's always some haters in the comments that are like, you didn't include shipping. It's not your real net profit. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Carol King, you guys. Carol King. Also before my time. Let's see. 21. Okay, Amazon's offers $21.40. Sales rank's decent. It's 60,000. So we'll do. I don't want a nickel and dime here. Let's just do. Yeah, I guess let's do $20.50. It's almost gonna do $19.99. Let's do $20.50. So payout is going to be $10.26, so roughly doubling my money on this one. And again, you guys, this is no scanning. This is buying blind. Take that lesson. Okay, next up, this is a seemingly androgynous artist, Gus Dapper. Okay, I don't know. It's not my burden to figure out who this artist is. It's my burden to sell the record for a profit. All right, what do we got? Amazon's offer $20.73. So let's just do $19.99. All right, next up, weird record cover, ambiguous artist. My theory is that because all commerce is moved online, that record companies are no longer making the name of the artist or the title or anything clear on the cover because people aren't making purchasing decisions based on, I don't know, thumbing through records at a record store anymore. I don't know, but you can't even tell half these records like what the artist even is. Anyway, I think, oh, PJ Harvey. Okay, so I've heard of PJ Harvey. All right. PJ Harvey, what do you got for it? All right, let's see if I can get approval to sell off camera. Give me a second. All right, approval granted. What do we got here? New condition 2490 FBA, 2440. So let's just do 2350. All right, guys, last record. And then we're going to do a full audit of profits. So this record is, the band is called The War on Drugs, 3198. That's Amazon's offer. Let's do $30.99. Sales rank's 2,000. This thing's going to fly out the door. All right. Drum roll. Let's pull up the calculator. Okay, 206. This is our payout. $216.79 minus $74.90, which is my cost. Total profit, $141.89. And again, the haters are going to say, what about shipping? Well, what about it? It's $10, $130 profit. Awesome, you guys. So listen, the lesson here is you can go to Barnes & Noble right now, like literally right now. I can't promise they'll have a bunch of $5 records. I don't see why they wouldn't. I'm guessing this is a chain-wide phenomenon because that's how chains work, right? It's the uniform policies, uniform everything. So whether or not this is temporary, who knows? Maybe this is something they're only doing right now, and maybe this video will be totally obsolete here in a month or two, or we'll see. But go ahead and post your reports below, post your questions below, post your results below. Let me know if this worked for you. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, we covered a lot of ground. You now have a 3-part mission. Are you ready? Mission number 1, subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can build a whole business off of what I give away for free. Do it right now. Number 2, get all my free stuff. Hit the link below this video. Go to fbamastery.com. Get free reports, free web classes, no strings attached. Free means free. Hit the link below this video right now. And mission number 3, take what you learned in this video and go make money with it. This is Peter Valley signing off. See you in the next video.